In the last few episodes, I've been with a group of YouTubers on a sailboat charter trip in the Greek islands. In last episode, we were at the famous island of Mykonos, where we sailed off anchor and headed to the nearby island of Delos to explore the ancient ruins. We then made our way to the island of Rinea, where we anchored for the night. We start this episode right there, as we wake up in the morning in this beautiful little cove. Okay guys, super windy today, as you can see here. We're gonna head to this place called Naxos. So we're gonna try to get to a marina for the night, that way we can kind of explore the town and have a nice dinner. We're on anchor right now. Beautiful little cove we found for the anchor, but it's just crazy wind today, about 30 knots. But we'll have about a 20-mile sail to the next location. We pull up anchor and set sail. Here's Joel helping to adjust the Genoa car on its track. It's important to get this adjusted so you can get the proper sail shape with your head sail. It's tough to do this when the sail is already up in heavy winds, but Joel manages. We take turns throughout the day at the helm. With the winds and chop, it was a bit tougher than it looks trying to keep the helm straight. That's what they call weather helm, when it's tough to steer because of the higher winds. That's Mandy and Alex from See the Little Things. I ask Alex how fast we're going on his GPS.
About speed, Alex? Usually it all exposes my forehead.
8,
it's really awkward.
8, 9 knots.
I know it's because I'm going back at 90 degrees because the wind's pulling me.
Well, take it.
Steer this boat.
The boat, which is an Ocean Star 56, is handling the wind and waves very well. That's one great thing about a larger, heavy boat. This likely would not have been a pleasant ride on a 30 or 35 foot boat. I take a turn at the helm as we meet up with a pod of dolphins. That's our destination, Naxos. When you get close to the harbor, you're greeted by this large rectangular frame sticking out of the earth, which is the Temple of Apollo. You can see the wind is still fierce as we come into the anchorage. Sailing Fair Isle has already arrived. That's Steve on his boat helping guide us to the anchor spot. Andy drops the anchor in front of this local beach club that sits directly under the Temple of Apollo. It's a picture-perfect setting, very old-school, classic beach club that you would think of when you think of Greece. Our anchor is set, now time to go ashore. Naxos is the largest island by landmass in the Cyclades, covering 170 square miles. Here's the beach club I mentioned. It has a restaurant called the Apollon Paradise Cafe if you want to check it out. Standing at the Apollo Temple looking back into town, you get a breathtaking view of the town of Naxos City, the largest city on the island. And just below is our boat, right there. let's go explore the town. It's a really quaint, beautiful place, very similar to Mykonos, but kind of more authentic. Mykonos is a bit, obviously it's very touristy. This is touristy also, but doesn't have the extreme tourism feel that Mykonos has. Beautiful little town, let's check it out. I mean, this place you could get lost in, but in a good way. Really cool little streets and passageways. Every which way you look, I'm not sure which way to go. So you go down each passageway and just explore the little shops, coffee shops, restaurants, rooftop gardens. Here's a sign for one right here. You just have this the entire town, and it's different elevations throughout. So you're kind of going upstairs and up pathways, and I went up to the top of the mountain or top of the hill, which is, you kind of see it from the water. That's kind of a castle-looking place with a church also on top. But I was able to find a place they called the Domas Festival, which is like a room where they have certain performances, sometimes live music, sometimes movies. And the guy that runs it, he let me see this beautiful view from the balcony. What is this?
Extremely dangerous poison. You will be dead after drinking that. Kaput completely. Join it.
Let's see. Let's see this. Ah, very nice. Very nice.
Guess what is this?
I don't know.
It's raki grappa,
Raki.
mixed with thyme honey, cinnamon, and aromatic herbs.
Ah.
It's a traditional drink of the island shepherds.
That's very good.
Yeah, it's nice flavor. Raki is grappa,
Racomili.
made with honey. Racomili.
Racomili.
Bravo.
So now I'm just hanging out. I mean, these little alleyways are tiny, but it doesn't stop the scooter bikes from going through. Some of the scooters. Oh, here comes another one. Whoops. We found this incredible little restaurant off the beaten path called Morrow's Taverna. Inexpensive, but great food and great service.
I have pastizio.
And that's like a traditional...
It's a very traditional Greek dish with meat and pasta and I think reddish.
It's like almost like a lasagna.
Yeah.
So it's not good enough for warm waters.
And that's like half of it.
But this is, yeah, I just like gave half. This is insane. This was €7.
You know, so good. You don't get any of that rust. You don't have to re-get.
My hand is like this. 1, 2,
This green liquor is called Citron, made from the fruit and leaves of the citron tree, made right here on Naxos. After dinner, we make it back to the boat and we do what sailors do best. We shoot the breeze for a bit before bedtime. All right, guys. I've got my flashlight here in my hand to try to talk to you. But just wanted to say good night. We had a great day. Pretty intense winds all day. We have Fair Isle, the other sailing yacht that we're kind of partnering with this week is to our port side here. To my starboard side here in the front to the right is some kind of monument to Apollo, really incredible here at Naxos. And then about 200 feet behind us is, it's crazy windy. 200 feet behind me is the rocks at the marina, so we're anchored and we're holding good, but it's intense. It's 30 knots of wind. Here's the city right behind me. So it's pretty intense out there. That's why you couldn't hear anything I was saying. But just a beautiful setting. We've got like 100 feet of chain out, even though it's only about 12 feet deep because we're pretty nervous about the high winds. So we think we're going to be in good shape because it's been blowing like this for 8 or 9 hours that we've been on anchor, and we haven't moved any, even though right behind us about 100 feet is actually the pier with rocks and stuff. So that's it for the night. Join us next episode for this. So finally the winds have died down a little bit, and we're heading to our next location. We're going to go from Naxos, which is behind me, and we're heading to the next island over, which is Peros. We have a nice sail over to the island of Peros, where Joel and I put our drones into the air for some epic aerial footage of the sailboats in action. We anchor at a great little cove and then some bonding over a beach bonfire at the end of the night. Thanks for watching.
If we never